All right, welcome to day two of the Economy Creators Workshop. I hope everybody was able to look at yesterday's either replay or be on the live event and take a look at the worksheets and fill those out and kind of give yourself a little number there, an average number. So if you want in the chat, why don't you stick your number and we can see who came up with what as your average for leading yourself, because that is really the first and foremost of all of it. Because we cannot create an economy swirling and whirling around us if we are not leading ourselves to the best of our ability. And believe me, I've tried. So it just doesn't work because you're not in the right energy, and it's you don't get to the place you want to get to. You don't give off the energy. You're not a beacon of the energy that you want to be sending off and receiving, actually. So good. We got a couple of fours in there. Yay. I like it. I like it. Good for you guys. 2.3. Oh, there you go. That's pretty accurate. Yay. Yep. Well, and that just says that, and we all need to brush up on everything, and here we get to this point where we'll find out in day three that really personal growth and development is key to leading others as well. Because if we're not continuously growing, we can't continuously lead other people as well. So, Cindy, oh, okay. Oh, Cindy, I just asked if you want to, you can put your average number from yesterday into the chat and see what that is, and see how leading yourself how you're doing with that. Um, so today, ooh, good at three. Good. So today is about leading your economy. And leading our economy is definitely important. And if we want to have a balanced life, and I love helping people live their best lives, right? So if we want the best life, our best life, we have to have a balanced economy. We can't just work all the time. We have to find what it is that we truly want as a balance. Our body as human beings seeks homeostasis, right? It seeks balance, and that's when it's most healthy. And our economy is very similar in that respect. The more that we can seek that balance, the more the better and more thriving we are. And then the more thriving that we are, the more thriving our economy becomes. Because if we are just working ourselves because we feel like we have to work hard, or we have that paradigm of working hard, which, believe me, I grew up with, and we burn out if that's all we're doing is working. Bob says something along the lines of, if you're not enjoying what you're doing, it's just work. So we have to find what it is that we truly are passionate about, which goes back to step one, right? We have to listen to those desires. We have to form our economy around our interests and our experiences and our desires and our talents. So today, what we're doing is finding out how we're doing as we lead this economy of our own. So it's really about structuring something around us, a U-shaped economy. So what I love for people to do is write your name in the middle of a page and put a circle around it. And you can start just piecing out different things that you love to have in your life, in your economy. So for me, for instance, When I first started out, I mentioned this about I was a gymnast, and so then I became a gymnastics coach, and then I I wanted to incorporate writing into my life, and so what I did was I started a publishing company and I wrote about gymnastics. And then my daughter was born, and then we opened a gym, and then I kept going with gymnastics. And then that led me to personal growth and development. But the fact of the matter is owning that gym was a blessing and a curse because, yes, I was doing something that I loved, but I was burned out. And I also knew that there was something more. There was this pull, this tug that I wanted something more in my life. And then in walks Bob Proctor, and I've like, I found the missing link, right? And as scary as it was to close our gym in 2021, it was the next step because gymnastics was a path to get to Bob, essentially, and do what I'm doing. And but I had to revamp my self-image because even when we closed the gym, do you know how many job offers I got to be a gymnastics coach and a program director at somebody else's gym? Lots. And I could have done that in my sleep. But I said, no, 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 no. This is the new me. This is Mary 2.0. I can do that. I already know I can do that. I need to do something more. So listening to that inner pull and inner guidance is what's going to help you build a well-rounded economy. And so the reason why I was so burned out was because I didn't have that balance. So now you all know I love horses and I go to the barn every morning and that recharges me every single day. So, one of the things that I would love for you to do is find the thing and think about the thing and seek the thing if you don't know what it is yet that balances you, that recharges you, that brings your homeostasis back to your life because if you don't have that to go to, everything else is just going to feel like work. Right? Does anyone want to share? Does anybody have that thing? Do you know what that thing is, or do you need to find what that thing is? Anybody want to share? Anyone have? Oh, go ahead, Pat.
What if you have two and they're fighting with each other?
Oh, talk to me.
I've been a dressmaker for 38 years. And then 12 years ago, I got into the coaching. I love doing both of them. I just, I was trying to think of weeding out the sewing and doing just the coaching. And yet I know I would miss the sewing too and the people.
hmm Then keep it. Keep both of them. Why can't you keep both?
They really, really want to come stronger with the coaching.
What comes stronger? I'm sorry.
The coaching,
The desire to coach is stronger. What if you coached people while you sewed?
I do that. I do. I
Yeah.
on my studio front window, it's got all about my coaching stuff on it too. So
hmm
sometimes I think, maybe if you do too many, you spread yourself too thin that you're not doing either one of them justice.
Well, but at the same time, well, did your well, clearly your sewing came first, and it's something that you can do forever,
Mm-hmm.
right? And maybe you slow it down and then you pick it back up, and I think that's kind of what you do, yeah.
Yeah. Like when I go to Texas for the winter, I do very, very little sewing down there.
hmm
Kind of a nice break, but it's
Yeah.
good to get back into the studio again too.
Yeah, see? So maybe that's what you need. Maybe it's going to Texas is your downtime. And then you come back and you're recharged and you're excited to be there again.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. I have a lot of different plates spinning in my world. I still have my gymnastics books. They're still on Amazon and this one in particular is the one that brings in the most money. Well, that's all relative speaking because it is a book on Amazon. But at the same time, I have that going. And then I have my Magnet 30 going. And then I have economy creators with my podcast and radio show and the anthology and so there's a lot going on, but I think Pat, what you can do is if you love both, keep them both in there, and maybe you'll find that going to Texas and coming back recharges you a little bit and gets you more excited about it.
Yeah, I think there's the balance there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Well, and do you feel like you need to focus on one more than the other because it brings in more money?
I think the coaching does. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I've already had 2 orders come in this week. I got one finished up today. So it's prom season.
Mm-hmm.
I love the youngers coming in. They're so
Yeah.
fun.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. That's cool. Well, and you don't, I mean, I did love gymnastics and I got rid of it.
Yeah. Still had
But,
some
you know,
connection there with your book and all.
pardon?
You still had some connection with it with your book.
Yeah, that's true. And I'll always be, I learned so much from it that it's still a part of me. It's just not the center of me anymore, right?
Right.
And that's kind of what happened is instead of Mary as the center of the economy, gymnastics was the center of my economy, right? So make sure that each of you puts your name, a U-shaped economy, as we go forward here. So what we need to think about is when we create our economy, we're actually executing on the foundation that we set in step one in our personal growth and development. We're executing on that. So as you lead yourself, you have this desire, you have this goal, you have a self-image script, you have a bulletproof attitude, you have a structured personal development plan, you have the life that you really want to be living, all in, and you're moving towards it all in step one. And then in step two, when you're creating your economy, you are executing on step one. Right? So many people go, I'm going to get this job or I'm going to start doing this and I'm going to get all this money and I'm going to do all this and nothing happens because they skip step one. You can't build an economy around nothing. It's hollow. So please don't skip step one, is what I'm trying to say. So when we move into step two, we're thinking about structure. Cindy says, for me, it would be an early morning walk. Yes, I love that. Good, good, good. That's exactly right. That's when you're surrounded by the woods and sometimes you see deer. Yeah, we were just talking about this in our Magnet 30 call right before this, about different types of meditation and how that grounds you. And that's so great, Cindy. So keep doing that. Because my horses do the same thing for me, and I just feel so much better having been with them. So when we do step one, or at least start step one, we can begin executing on that in step two. We get more clear on what our path will be in our economy. So we can begin building, which is so great. So, like I mentioned, I have Iris Blue Publishing and I did my Gym Rats books. I have 5 of those and then another one. And then I published my sister's books. Um, and then all of my workbooks here and my other books over there. I have all of those things. And then I have in Magnet Mind Magnet 30, Path to Mastery. I have the workbooks, How to Study, Think, and Grow Rich, my podcast and radio show, the blog, the YouTube channel, the anthology. There's lots of things that go into it. And I'm not saying you all have to have everything all at once because that's not how it happens. I started with this and that's it, right? So, really start, I always say, get one plate spinning and then focus on the next one, right? I couldn't publish book two without publishing book one, right? It just doesn't work that way. So really think about that as you're building this economy out. So step two in leading your economy, let me pull up the worksheets here. Oh, that's not it. This is it. So what we want to do is understand where we are with our structural clarity. Um, so we want to rate ourselves on a scale of 1 to 5 on each of these things. There are 6 places, 6 things to assess here. So give yourself a score of 1 if it's kind of like random stuff that you do. I don't know, I just post something, I hope it sticks, right? Um, 3 is a partial structure. Say, yeah, I have an email list, but I send an email once every 2 weeks or so just because I'm supposed to. And then 5 would be, hey, I know exactly what my ecosystem looks like. It's clear, and I know who I'm talking to, and I have it all structured and set up. Okay. So the first question is, I know exactly who my work is for. So who's your target audience, right? Um, for me, it's leaders and economy creators, people who want to create an economy around themselves and become the leader that they're meant to be and really step into their infinite potential, right? So some people work primarily with women. Some people work primarily with men. Some people work with people who need a seamstress, right, Pat? Some people some people need yeah. And or I'm going to use Pat again because she does something very specific with grief counseling, right? And that's a very specific niche. So if you know exactly who your work is for, then give yourself a 5. If you sort of know or you wish you knew, give yourself a 3 and give yourself a 1 if you're like, I don't know. Or if your answer is everybody, because everybody kind of turns into nobody, in this big, huge ecosystem swimming pool that we've got going on. Okay. John Hart is a real estate agent, so he works with people who need houses, right? So that's pretty clear, right? But if some, you can even niche down further and say, I only work with people who are looking for $1 million houses and up, or I only work with people who are brand new to the market, or something like that. So you can always refine it. But if you know who your work is for, give yourself a 5. Does anybody have any questions on that one?
It's a niche. Anybody can be a realtor, but not everybody can sell real estate. So you find your niche, first-time home buyers or stuff like that. So that's an excellent question. Thank you, Mary.
You're welcome, John. You're welcome. Any other questions before we move to the second one? No? Okay. So the second one is my audience encounters me consistently, meaning I'm on there a lot. I picked a medium and I share on that medium. For instance, what if it's Facebook? Do you post on Facebook? Do you go live? Do you post content? Um, do you interact with people? Do you reach out? Do you say, "Hey, thanks for being my friend"? Do they know you, right? Give yourself a 5 again if it's very clear on how you execute wherever your um, wherever your audience sees you. If you have a partial structure, so let's say I have a Facebook account and I have friends, but nobody knows who I am, right? That's a 3. And random activity would be like, well, I've got Facebook, I've got LinkedIn, I've got Instagram, but I really don't do anything with them except for post cat videos. Which can get people to like you, but is that really selling your stuff? Probably not, right? Okay. Any questions on that one? Okay, that one's pretty clear. And then the third one, I have one clearly defined primary offer. So, economy creators, I have this workshop and this, and that's why I refined it because now it's a workshop that has this audit built into it. So I can say, hey, where are your deficiencies? Let me help you fix those, right? And that's really what this is all about. So my job is to help you fix the gaps that you see when you go through the audit, right? Um, so do you have a primary offer or vacillate between things like, ooh, maybe I'll sell this. Ooh, maybe I'll sell that. Ooh, maybe I'll sell this. Ooh, maybe I'll sell that. And so people know you, but they don't know what to know you for. And so there's a disparity there, right? They're like, oh, I like this person, but I don't know. I don't know what she really does, right?
Mm.
Does anybody have any questions on that? Okay. And then a predictable percentage of my revenue is stable. So do you have something that's coming in like clockwork? You know, that you can bank on a certain amount of money every month, right? Like a paycheck almost. You know, can you bank on that? So that is either a 1, a 3, or a 5. Um, and then the next one, I own my own platform. So this is important. And rented attention would be something like friends on Facebook or a Facebook group or your LinkedIn connections versus your own platform, which would be like, do you have a membership hub? Do you have an email list that you own? Those are your own things versus somebody else's. Okay. So 1, 3, or 5 there. Does anybody have any questions about that? Okay. And then the last one, my authority is codified. Oh, what does that mean, Mary? So what that means is that do you have content like a blog, or do you have a specific framework that you use? Do you have a lead magnet? Do you have like this economy creators workshop? Do you have like lead yourself, lead your economy, lead others, right? And so that would be a framework that I use. Do you have an ebook that it's inside of? Let's see. Does a YouTube channel count? Yeah, I would say a YouTube channel counts. Mhm. Well, that's an outlet, right? But so on your YouTube channel, do you mean owning your own platform? Is that what you mean, Cindy? Or do you mean you're codifying your authority?
Yeah, I have my own YouTube channel.
Okay, so do you know who
So,
the
and I
people
post
are?
videos on that.
Okay, so is that for number 5 or number 6?
Um,
Owning your own platform?
yeah, I own
So
that. It's my channel, so
well, it's your channel, but
what?
it's through
Oh,
YouTube. So do you know who those
oh,
people are, or do you have a way to get them onto your email list, for instance?
oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, right. So
Okay,
there's a
so no.
difference, right?
Okay.
So yay, we have lots of subscribers, but who are they? I don't really know, right?
Yeah.
I don't know who all of my subscribers are. So the idea would be, do you have something like a lead magnet that would get them to opt into your email list, for instance?
Okay.
Okay.
I
Which,
don't, but I will.
okay, okay, perfect. Good. So those are the questions for your economic infrastructure assessment. And then we have some reflection questions here. Where does my audience consistently see me? So Cindy would say on my YouTube channel, right? So I post every week and they see me, I put a video up every single week and they see me and they love me and I get all these likes and subscribes. So you would do that. And if that's what's going on, then you do want to extract them and bring them to your website, right? And your email list. Is my growth dependent on energy, like all the energy output that I'm doing, or is it dependent on a structure? So do you have some sort of lead magnet funnel that where they come and they say, "Ooh, I want that." They put their email address and then they come in and then you send them it automatically you send them an email uh well, for Pete's sake, what's the word? An email. And then another one, a sequence. An email sequence, right? And then the last one is what is missing from my infrastructure? So just kind of think about all those things and what am I missing? What could I be doing? Right? Okay. So then what you're going to do is just add them up and divide by 6 because that will give you your average score for your structure. So if it's under 3, then you need some more structure. If it's 3 to 4, you need codification, which means you need like the asset piece. So how have you shared your authority, your experience? And one of the best ways to do that is creating an ebook. It's easy, it's fast, and I can help anybody do that. And the other one is 4 to 5. You're scaling. You're able to scale because you have the systems in place. Okay. And that really is the what we're talking about on day 2 is all about this structure. So put your number in the chat. What's your average number that you came up with? Larry got a 3. Good, good. I like it. Dorothy's a 3. Good. And the other thing that I want you to think about too is if you go back to yesterday and you go back to, do I have a self-image script? Do I have a 3 for you too? Good, Cindy. Do I have a bulletproof attitude statement? Do I have a structured personal development plan? And if you do, then that really feeds this less or the this step, right? This building your economy, this leading your economy, because you can't lead your economy if you can't lead you, especially if you are the center of your economy. Okay. All right. Does anybody have any questions? 3.8. Ooh, that's a good one.
I got a question on the bulletproof statement. What do you mean by that bulletproof statement? Can you give us an example?
Yeah. So attitude, and Bob Proctor teaches this in Thinking into Results, right? An attitude is a combination of thoughts, feelings, and actions. So do you know what thoughts you need to be thinking and what feelings you need to be having and what actions you need to be taking in order to reach your goal? And do you have a way to get you back to that bulletproof attitude to help you stay in that attitude and not let external circumstances derail you, right? Like that guy that cut you off in traffic, right? We don't want that to derail us. We want to stay firm in our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions. We want to rule ourselves. And that would be step 1, right? And so when we have that and we're stable, then we can bring that stable energy into our economy and create it. So the reason why this book was so, bye Larry, the reason why this book was so easy, and I say easy, it was easy for me to write because I knew this like the back of my hand. I knew everything. It was based on my life. It was based on how I taught. It was based on my beliefs about the sport. It was based on basics in the sport. I knew it. This was my first authority asset. Okay. This was me codifying my experience. And so if you have experience, which you all do, I highly suggest that you create at least an ebook, and that ebook can springboard into a course. It can be extracted from a workshop. It could be anything. And so what you want to do is it springboards into a course, and then it springboards into your coaching business. It springboards into a longer book, it can do so many things for you, but it brings everything that you know, not everything, but the important things that you want to tell somebody into a thing, into one concise document that you can use as a lead magnet, you can use as um, you can sell it on Amazon, you can sell it on Etsy, you can do all sorts of things on your website, you can share it with your YouTube videos, you can do all of those things. Okay. Fail again, but that's why I'm here. No, 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 you're not a failure. Stop. There you go. Thank you, Dorothy. See, you're on a journey. You didn't fail. Yeah, and you are on a journey. We're all on journeys. This is all a journey, this whole life, this whole thing. Yes, on the ebook. Yay! I love it. I love it. And that's one of the things that I help people do is write the darn ebook already, right? And it's one of the things that can really not only bolster your self-image script from step one and and empower you and help you with your bulletproof attitude, being this person, this version of you that is the authority. It proves to you that you are an authority. And so when you do that, you're like, huh, one, I did that. And then two, look what I did, right? You can't brag about something that you didn't do, right? And Pat, you have an ebook on your website. What's your ebook about?
Grief, loss.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And is it extracted from your experiences?
Some of it is, yes.
Mm-hmm. Plus what you've learned as a coach.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and like with the where I'm licensed through the Grief Recovery Institute, they provide us with different tools like that too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Yeah.
an authority thing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Good. Let's see. Ryan's writing a book, right? An ebook. He's writing a course, actually, right? So that would be an authority asset for sure. Want to say anything about it, Ryan? Medora, go
Yes,
Ryan.
of course, of course, of course, of course. If yeah, I over the past 4 years, I've been doing affiliate marketing, and what I want is to bring a course to this the make money online niche that will help people not only learn affiliate marketing, but also point them in the right direction to where they can understand how important it is that they master their mindset. And so that was sort of a kind of a seed that was planted when I first met Mary in my mind. I was thinking, this is going to be really good someday. I don't know what it's going to be yet. And here we are, getting that created and putting that together and putting myself on the hook. And if you are interested in learning more about affiliate marketing and you want to see how this can complement, even if you already have your own business, how you could actually seamlessly add affiliate marketing to it, then you might want to get on my wait list. Just saying.
Just saying. All right. Well, there's Ryan's plug. So John, you're a real estate agent. And what if you worked with primarily new homeowners, first time buyers? You could write an ebook, a simple ebook about what to look for, what to avoid, pitfalls, all of that stuff. You could put this is where you need to go for lending. This is an optional type of lending, all sorts of things that you know as an authority, and you could build your email list with it.
That's an excellent idea, because I have the knowledge and I have the people and and where to go. Um, yeah, I just don't know how to do an ebook.
Hi,
Um,
welcome to Mary's World.
okay. Well, we're going to have to get together, girl.
All
We
right.
with the real estate market, depending on where you're at,
No, no,
there she
that
goes again, and
no
she's stopping me like
mindset.
this is
That's
what I'm
step
paying
one.
for. This is awesome. You guys are you're awesome. I love that. That is great. That is great.
Mhm.
But
It
the
only
book is
depends on you.
you're right. You're right.
I know.
Um, it's just like market changes. That's all. So the
Of
real estate
course it
market
does.
is a
That's why
roller
you have
coaster.
Ryan in affiliate marketing at the same time.
Yeah, and then him and I talked about that. I'd like to
Same
go
plates.
further into that. So yeah, let's move forward.
We'll
Mary, you and I,
reschedule.
yeah, reschedule. Yeah, but
Yep,
you see what she was thinking what I knew before I even said it.
I know. So what this step really does, and John, you're a perfect example of that. So thank you. You don't realize what you know until you go, oh, I could write a book about that. I guess I could. But sometimes we stop because I don't know how to write the ebook. And that's when you go, hey, Mary, how do you write an ebook? And I can help, right? So we want to understand who our audience is. We want to understand the message that we're sending out. And that message that we're sending out is also dictated by the vibration we're in. So if we are not feeling like an authority, we're sending kind of a mixed signal out to people like, hey, buy my stuff, but I don't really know what I'm talking about, type of thing. And we don't want to do this and this at the same time. We want to go, hey, come on in. So that's what blending step one and step two together is really valuable. So you're building that personal development, but also building that authority asset to bolster your authority, for one, to the outside world, but also prove who you're becoming on the internal world, right? And show yourself that you really are this version of you 2.0, right? Okay. Does anybody have any other questions while I look at my notes here? Pat's just thumbsing upping. Pat, you could write a cool ebook about sewing. You could teach a course on sewing. You could blend a course on life coaching with seamstresses, dressmakers.
I have taught garment construction for several years
That's so cool. Do you do it online or do you only do it in person?
in person. It'd be too hard to do it online.
Mm-hmm. Because I would send Lola to you.
Oh, well, bring her on. It's summer. She's out of school. Bring her on.
I'll just send her up to Nebraska.
Yeah.
Go up to Nebraska.
No, I've taught quite a few young girls here in town how to sew, and they're so fun. Oh, I love the young people. They're just fun.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Love it. So when you know that you have structural strength, okay, you have a clear niche or niche and a clear position that you offer, okay? So Pat says, "Hey, I counsel people when they're grieving," right? That's very clear. It's very clear. You don't have to be young or old. You're just grieving, right? Um, you have a defined primary offer. And I think that's kind of what Pat was asking about earlier about what about if I have two businesses? They're very, well, kind of different from one another, very different, but because you're Pat, they're similar, right? And how do I have a clear offer? Well, do you have a clear offer for one and a clear offer for the other? Right? And that's the only question are you answering?
They're
And
both
then,
in
oh,
service of
go
other
ahead.
people. I was gonna say they're both in service of other people,
Mm-hmm.
helping them to feel good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And that brings us into tomorrow's discussion on leading others, for sure. For sure. Impression of increase. Do you have a consistent distribution rhythm? Meaning, do you say, hey, you guys, I'm here? Do you, for instance, we study You Were Born Rich for free every single week. That's a consistent distribution rhythm. It comes up and it comes and we talk and we go and we do the next chapter and then the next chapter. You are all welcome to do that, actually. And let me put that foundations link in here because I highly suggest that you do that because that helps you form the community around you that you need in order to build self-development and self-growth. So let me get that. And if you want a group of people who are nice and who are studying important things and studying growth and human development, potential. Paste. Oops. There we go. For some reason I forgot. Okay, how to paste. But there you go. Bless you. That's Pat's Ponderings on Life every Wednesday on Facebook for 101 weeks. Good for you. Ah, that's almost 2 years. Ooh, you're so close. That's
It makes
great.
you get more comfortable about talking to the camera.
Yeah, yeah.
And when I got started, I had my mom and dad's pictures up above right beside the camera. So I felt
Oh,
like talking to them.
that's so sweet. I love that. I love that. So, one of the things that are indicators of structural instability inside of your economy, random posting, right? I was like, oh, see if this spaghetti sticks to the wall. I don't know. Or are you sending things out? For me, for instance, week one of the month, I send specific things. Week two, I send around a specific um, theme, right? My months have themes. In Magnet Mind this month, it's meditation. So everything will kind of have that hue underneath it. Okay. Um, do you have an email list? We need one. Whether it doesn't matter if it's big or small, you just need to be able to own the names on your list, right? And the emails. So if Facebook goes under one day, you have that structure and you have that ability to contact people. Inconsistent revenue. So it's going up and down and it's dependent on how hard I work at that particular moment versus do I have a system in place, maybe a membership or something like that that you can count on every single month. Publishing without an ecosystem. That is big. So when I published this book, I really didn't have an ecosystem. However, this book was the beginning of my ecosystem because 2 years later, I opened my gym. And what did I sell in my gym and give away to all the little kids that entered the gym? This book, right? So then all of a sudden, I had that ecosystem. But when I first started, I didn't have an ecosystem. So I highly suggest having an ecosystem before you publish something. And so when you do that with the clarity that we establish in step one, right? Who you are, what you want, the version of you that has the stuff that you want. How do you show up in the world? What is your bulletproof attitude? What is that self-image? What is the thing that grounds you, right? So I know I'm coming back to step one all the time because that's really what builds the foundation for the rest of the stuff. Um, and constant rebranding. Some people say, oh, I'm rebranding again. I'm rebranding. I just rebranded, but it's actually because I never branded in the first place. I just made some stuff up. Don't do that either. But, well, actually, it's okay because I had to get my name out there somehow, and I just slapped something together. But now that I know who I am and who I serve, I just rebranded. Do you guys want to see how awesome my logo is? I'm going to share it in here. It's so fun. Um, and what's cool too is that once we get to this point of knowing people and we get to step three, right? We begin to um, meet people who we trust, who we believe can help us do things like brand, right? So that's my new brand. With the horse in the middle. Pat, I changed my company name after a few years. Is that considered? I would consider that rebranding, yeah. But and was it intentional? And you're like, I didn't have a name that really mattered. That really made sense before. Is that kind of what happened? Or you didn't like it? Because I didn't like my logo
I
before.
started out as life-changing coaching and consulting. Because for me, when I went through that, it did change my life.
Hmm.
But then I worked with Robert Martinez some, and he said, no, you need to get your name in that title.
Oh,
So that's when I changed it.
So what is your title now? Your
It's
name?
Pat Ackley Roth Coaching and Consulting.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And and I think that I asked Allie and Kirill about I don't know if I should do personal brand or if I should do just keep Magnet Mind and the because I have so many spinning plates, like I have Iris Blue Publishing, I have all sorts of things going, that they're like, let's keep Magnet Mind. And I was like, okay, I don't care. I don't want to be a face either, so I'm okay.
I
So
have
I think it's different for anybody.
a different one for the sewing.
Yeah. Oh, Midori, you like the horse, isn't it cool? Yeah. Did you have a company to help you create your rebranding? For me, yes, I did. How about you, Pat? Did you have somebody,
Yes,
had
Robert
somebody tell
Martinez.
you? Yeah.
Robert
hmm
Martinez.
Yep. And Cindy, I can recommend people to you as well.
They just have a different viewpoint than what you've looked at it.
Yeah. hmm Yeah, because you know what? This was my very first one. And I do not it worked. It worked. And my coach was like, just get something and start. That was the thing is you needed to start. Cindy, I'll send you an email with with their information. And that's true too, right? We have to start somewhere. So just start. Don't let that be the thing that stops you. You can always change your brand if you need to. And here's the thing, I've been in business for 4 years now. And so it makes sense that I've achieved some clarity now that now I know who I am. And hey, look at the horses. Everybody knows me for horses, right? I mean, if you know my story, you know horses. And so it makes sense. And I didn't even think to put it in my logo until I started talking to them. And they're like, Mary, we need to do this horse thing. And I was like, oh. So, like Pat said, somebody else can have a different perspective for you. Does anybody have any other questions? Anybody? Anybody?
I just going to say that's why my logo is a butterfly because that's in every room in my studio, every room at my house. There's a butterfly somewhere because that's new birth.
Oh,
That's
I love
changing
that.
going forward. So it's on my logo too.
I love it. I love it. That's so good.
But
Ah,
that's something else too I'm dwelling on lately too is loss of your pets. And I've contacted the pet stores and stuff. Who do they recommend when someone of their clients have lost a pet?
mm-hmm.
And I made a couple good stops in Dallas.
Good. Fabulous. I love it. That's great. And that'll be more about what we talk about tomorrow too, because that is getting ourselves out there and leading other people because they might not think to have a grief counselor on speed dial. But if you walk in their door, they will definitely think about it, right? So we really have to think about we have to have a structure in place before we can grow. We all want to grow our businesses and grow our economies, but if we don't have a structure, what are you going to grow, right? You can't. So that's why step two is so important. And what happens is when we go for more visibility, but we don't have the structure in place, the more visibility just highlights the fact that you don't have it together yet, right? Kind of like money, when you have money amplifies. And so if you're a jerk, you'll be more of a jerk. And if you're really kind, you'll be more kind, right? Because you're able to all these animals. Ooh, I know they're so good. I love animals. Um, and circulation creates more growth. So when you have a structure in place, you can circulate. You can do more and you can be more efficient and effective. Um, and then like if you write up like this book, I knew exactly what to write because I had that structure, at least for myself, in here, and I knew exactly what to talk about in the realm of gymnastics because by this time I had spent 27 years in the sport, something ridiculous like that. And then you can start expanding and spinning one plate and going, okay, that plate's doing well, and I can spin this plate, and that plate's doing well, kind of like Pat's doing. And you can, I'll spin my, I'll spin my dressmaking plate when I'm up in in Nebraska. I like that. I like that. Does anybody have anything else to say or to add to this? Do
Oh,
you see where you go ahead?
this is very important. That I think this is probably um if everybody's being honest, well, at least I'm being honest with myself. And I was like looking at, how I rated myself is basically I had two fours, two twos, and two threes. And so that makes me a three. So I have some work to do. I am in process of doing it. And what Mary said that I'm working on a course, that's one that's going to raise that two up.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
So very insightful. I love it because I don't know about anybody else, but I don't take the time to analyze data as much as I should. I usually go by my gut. That's what came up for me yesterday. I'm more intuitive in my decision making than I am in looking and analyzing data.
Mm-hmm. Well, and there's something definitely to be said for intuition and following that for sure. But what data does is tells you where should I be building? What should I be focused on? Because what we focused on grows. And so when we focus on something, we'll get that intuitive hit to grow that thing rather than just anything, right? Yeah. So when you're looking for what authority can I share with the world, that question goes out to the universe, and the universe is going to say, this one. But if you sit there and go, I don't know what to say, I have no idea what to do, just say, I am an authority. You could write down everything that you're an authority in and all of that, and you'll begin to flesh out an idea. I promise you. I promise you. You really will. Okay. Tomorrow we will be talking about leading others. This is something that most people want to do first, but they don't have the structure in place, nor do they have that leading ourselves in place first. And so tomorrow is going to be very important. Tomorrow also is going to be talking about what kind of energy do you need to be sending off into the world to lead other people. And that is key. Okay. So thank you so much for being here. And I'm excited to keep sharing all this stuff because like I said, I've been thinking about really economy creators heavily since November. And so this is clarity coming out. So I'm excited about it. So thank you for being here. And I will see you tomorrow. Thank you. Thanks, Cindy.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
See ya.